There is Davis just floating in and scoring. That's back-to-back buckets to start for Xavier.
I'm sure San Diego came in focusing on those inside guys, and the guards are off to a great start right now for Xavier.
Xavier's off to a 4-0 start. They've played all guaranteed games at home. And San Diego is 3-1, having played on Monday. Actually, both teams played on Monday.
I think one thing to watch and just talking to the San Diego coaches is putting Matt Stainbrook in ball screens and making him guard out on the perimeter and helping.
Stainbrook, just a tremendous passer out of the double team, and that's something that San Diego will pay particular attention to as Xavier turns it over for the first time.
Watch this teardrop by Harris getting to the basket. He just floated that thing up. Nice shot by Davis.
He does his best work with 7.3 assists per game. He's a senior from Bloomington, Indiana. San Diego looking for their first points. Their only loss came in their opening game at the LMU Classic in front of only 1,300 people against Boise State. It's Johnny D being harassed. It is a really good senior backcourt here for San Diego. And Anderson, who averages 9 assists a game, to D, who misses the shot, and a foul against San Diego.
Really important for San Diego to get those guards going, so they're in the game playing with a lot of confidence. The San Diego offense.
Brett Bailey gets called for his first foul. He's a 6'6" sophomore from Spokane, Washington. Almost 2 minutes into the game, and the Musketeers out of the Big East. They've got a 4-0 lead. There's that pass by Stainbrook. Won't get an assist this time off of the missed shot.
Good offense. Good inside-out action from Stainbrook out to Bluiett. Just didn't knock it down.
Thomas Jacobs to Johnny D. Anderson from nearby Canyon High School in Anaheim. Got in the lane and then got the shot partially blocked. Xavier Musketeers made it a point of emphasis to try and keep him out of the lane throughout this game.
Yeah, you play San Diego, Anderson, you've got to keep him out of the paint. He did a good job splitting the ball screen, but Xavier's got so much size. You get by Stainbrook, and next thing you know, you got Farge 6'9" down low.
Gino Koch, who had 63 blocks last season, just picked up the first of the game there. Ball is loose. San Diego has it back. Here's D spotting up from 3 and hitting.
You know, I like D. You know, he's going to have to find some of those early shots in transition. And even though he missed his first 2, he just keeps shooting it. He's going to keep shooting it. Plays with a lot of confidence. Plays with a chip on his shoulder.
187 points now away from being the school's all-time leading scorer as Stainbrook muscles in and Big Matt scores it.
That was a great play by Stainbrook, his patience.
Even better pass from Anderson in the lane to Koch for the slam. It's a 1-point game.
You can see why he averages 9 assists a game. Great vision.
Stainbrook passing out of the double team again. They'll go inside. Laying it up is James Farr and tried to back. Even better pass from Anderson in the lane to Koch for the slam. It's a 1-point game.
You can see why he averages 9 assists a game. Great vision.
Stainbrook passing out of the double team again. They'll go inside. Laying it up is James Farr and tried to bang it off the glass and couldn't score.
Watch this block by Koch. Going to be one of the top 3 shot blockers in San Diego history. 3rd right now, but great timing on that block.
Encroaching on the territory cut out by Gino Pomer, who had a fantastic 4-year career at USD not too long ago. Torero's down a point. Stainbrook going to work against Koch. In the corner, Abel, the Indiana transfer, buries the 3.
Boy, you know, Xavier, when you play them, they're going to play inside out. They're going to play through Matt Stainbrook, and he just makes those passes to the weak side of the floor so effortlessly. I mean, he just sees it before it even happens.
Here's Anderson, and Anderson buries a 3.
That's a good sign right there. When Anderson's making that 3-point shot, he's a guy that the coaching staff is really encouraged to be more offensive minded. That's not just the assist, but the scoring.
His brother played at UCLA. His little brother plays at Canyon High School and is being recruited. And season 4 NCAA tournament appearances for his alma mater. Remember, he played under Pete Gillen at Xavier and was a 2-time captain. And his wife, Christy, is back watching in the Cincinnati area, expecting any day to give birth to the couple's first baby boy. And she's going to like that. Jalen Reynolds getting the basket and the foul.
Yeah, Jalen just checked into the ball game. Immediately, they went right inside to him, and what a strong, aggressive move. He took 2 hard dribbles. We call these crab dribbles, crab dribble, and jump hook over that left shoulder. Nice, strong move by Reynolds.
And so Reynolds goes to the free throw line. He's a 6'10" sophomore from Detroit, Michigan, averaging 9 points and 7.5 boards, but doesn't get a lot of the headlines because of what Bluiett has done so far and what Stainbrook does.
Very important player. Guy really plays about starters minutes, but that front line is so strong. They like to kind of bring him off the bench so he doesn't get fouled. He can be a foul trouble guy a little bit.
Here's Johnny D. 3 white jerseys in front of him. Kicks it out, and a 3 on the wing.
Well, San Diego has made a concerted effort to get the 3-point shot, and Xavier's going to really have to extend a little bit more and take away some of those looks. That's what's keeping him in the game right now. That's
Cameron Neubauer. That's his first minutes of the season. Comes in game number 5, and he shoots a 3 and makes it. And that's out of bounds, and it is Xavier's basketball.
You know, Chris Mack talked about this. San Diego defensively on that last play, they do what we call down the ball screen. They push everything down to the baseline, and Xavier hadn't faced that a lot. And right there, and San Diego almost came in with a deflection and a steal.
It's a 1-point game. Brandon Randolph has it for the Musketeers. Here's D. Davis. D. Davis being harassed. And that is going San Diego's way as they force him into a turnover.
Nice trap on the baseline right there. Took it hard to the baseline, and I think the offensive player initiated the contact and just lost his balance.
That's a lot of beef right there. Simi Fajimison comes off the bench, 6'10", out of Linwood, California, as D gets the basket on the foul.
Chris Henderson. He's got some speed right there. I mean, he just needs a little seam right there to get through 2-3 guys, and he's able to get through the defense and finish.
I mean,
nice job. He's got the quickness, that first step. The defense couldn't recover to him.
First lead of the game for San Diego. They call him Mighty Mouse. He's put a little tape on him. Anyone who's watched USD basketball for the last 3.5 years knows the plays he can make. 1-point advantage for the Toreros, who are 3-1. They just beat Western Michigan Monday at home. Western Michigan is in this Wooden Classic field. They'll play later today at Titan Gym. So those two teams could actually see each other again on Sunday and play for the second time in a week. Elevating baseline right and scoring is Brandon Randolph. He's from nearby Inglewood High School.
Nice pull-up baseline jumper by Randolph.
A big thrill for this young man. I'm sure he played some AAU games and some high school games here. Anderson carries the 3.
As a guy on the scouting report, you're used to saying, hey, you got to watch him getting into the paint, dishing it off. But he's come out very aggressive, shooting the ball from 3 and attacking the basket.
8 already for Christopher Anderson. He averages 10-3 a game. Here's D. Davis. And a rebound by Trevon Bluiett. They got knocked out of there by Fajemison. Randolph resets. They get a new 35-second shot clock.
Xavier's went to a little bit of a smaller lineup. They put Bluiett at the 4, and they inserted J.P. Mercuro. But let's watch Chris Anderson again here. He's known to be a passer, but the defense drops off him. He gets a good look at the rim, and it's a splash. He's off to a great start.
They've got some veteran leadership for USD, and they don't shy away from playing teams. I mean, they play San Diego State every year in the city championship. Last year, they had a home win against Gonzaga. They took down St. Mary's. But Jimison goes to work against Reynolds and scores.
Nice move. Nice move right there by Jimison. He's a guy that coaches like. They just feel like he's got to lose a little bit of weight, but he's got the tools to be effective down low.
Wasn't much of a factor through the first 4 games. As a matter of fact, only played an average of 7.5 minutes. And here's a pick by Anderson. Anderson to Marcus Harris. Harris is heir apparent. Harris scores. And San Diego with a big lead.
What a play. Basically, they're playing 2 point guards out there right now, but that's a good play between the 2 guards in transition.
7-0 run for the Toreros of San Diego. And a foul on the drive.
Let's look at this. First, it started with the steal. Great hands by Anderson and behind the head. What a great pass and a finish by Harris.
Christopher Anderson, senior point guard from Anaheim, just picked up his first personal foul. Brandon Randolph will inbound. Far to Stainbrook. Koch draws him. Backs in on Koch, gets position and muscles it up.
Stainbrook really knows how to use that body. I mean, he gets deep, low position, and now they don't really know, do we double him? Do we sack? How do we guard this guy? And when he's one-on-one, he's going to score. His
career started at Western Michigan, so they're in this field as well. He'd like to get a crack at Western Michigan, but certainly not on Sunday in a loser's bracket game.
Well, he's really improved himself since he's gotten to Xavier. You know, when he left Western Michigan, the coaches said he was 325 pounds. So he lost a lot of weight when he transferred and sat out, and it's made a nice difference in the game. And he's still a below-the-rim guy, but he knows how to use his body.
He ever so slightly gets that up over Gito Koch. He has 6 points. There's a great feature on him in Xavier Nation, the magazine their athletic department gave us beforehand, the 2 sides of Stainbrook. He's supposedly a silly, rather quiet guy. He'd rather go away and shoot his free throws away from all his teammates. But when he plays, he comes to play. Duda Sanadze drives, just put it on the floor, and it got blocked. My goodness, that's James Farr. And in transition, back the other way. Edmund Summer got fouled, the freshman, as he went in. Well, a feverish pace to start. Just under 11 to go in the first degree. And he is working on his MBA right now. Matter of fact, we were talking to their associate athletic director in charge of sports information, who said the other night I was doing something at 1:30 in the morning, and the kid was in there working on MBA classes at the practice center that they work at.
I just like his patience down there. I mean, he really catches it. He waits and he reads the defense before he decides what he's going to do.
Stainbrook, a low 6'10" senior. Preseason all Big East, 17 points, 7.5 boards. San Diego with a lead in the basketball. They've gone fairly deep on their bench. They may run 12 players. Harris, good no-look pass. Good interior passing continues with Koch. And they're just not able to finish. That's Thomas Jacobs inside.
And that was good offense by San Diego. Good interior passing, as you mentioned before. But the length and the size of Xavier down there just made it a very difficult shot.
Travel on Edmund Summer, freshman from Detroit, Michigan. That's Xavier's 4th turnover of the first half.
You can see both teams are really subbing freely in this game, and I think it's because, you know, you got to play 3 games and you want to keep your guys out there fresh, and it's a long tournament.
Oh yeah, and the opponent you're playing averages 90 points per game through 4 games, right? And just took down the Ohio Valley Conference favorite Murray State 89-62 on Monday for win number 4.
And Stephen F. Austin, you know, that's a team that went to the NCAA tournament last year.
Although they got killed on the glass in that game. They've got to get better. Here is Vasa Pushitsa, and he misses. That's a fun name to say.
And Vasa's been dealing with a little plantar fasciitis. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's Sanadze.
It's Sanadze, but yeah, he's a guy that comes off the bench, and he's another 3-point shooter. They've got a lot of 3-point shooters for the San Diego team. And
a lot of international flair, too, to their roster for the first time in a while. That's why you confuse the likes of Pushitsa and Sanadze. Here's Farr stepping back.
I'm going to leave the pronunciations to you in this game.
I had to go to the game Monday night in San Diego and practice that the whole ride home in order to get that one down. Here's Chris Sarba, the junior from Spokane. Sealed off by Brandon Randolph. Inside of 9 to go in the first half. Game 2, DirecTV Wooden Legacy. Quarterfinals from Titan Gym on this Thanksgiving. Campus of Cal State Fullerton. And Jacobs from the left baseline. A little too hard. Here's Randolph back the other way. It's going to stay Xavier's basketball. And they'll sub. They'll get in D. Davis and Trevon Bluiett will come in, and they'll spell Brandon Randolph and Edmund Summers. So some more offense coming on here for Chris Mack.
Fast pace to start this game. You know, over a little bit more than halfway through it. Both teams around 20 points, so good pace.
Now Xavier hasn't been able to get Bluiett going yet. He's 0 for 3 from the field, still looking for his first points. He's that super freshman from Indianapolis. Came in averaging 18.3 points and shooting 65% from the floor. Davis. Stainbrook, the offensive rebound. Cope disrupted it the first time for a block, but the stick-to-itness should be applauded for Stainbrook.
Did you see those hands? I mean, those hands are fantastic. I mean, he just played volleyball with it, tipping it back and forth to himself, and gets an easy stick back.
Here's Coke, and Coke lost it, being harassed by Stainbrook underneath. Battle for Atlantis will continue with the championship tomorrow. Oklahoma's already there. We thought it would either be UCLA or North Carolina, but Oklahoma's in. They just beat Butler. And they'll play either #2 Wisconsin or Georgetown. Friday 4 Eastern on ESPN. But we have enough big guys in here where we could supply an NFL team with an offensive line. Do we not? And there's a jumper by Bluiett. He makes his first in 4 attempts.
I think he heard you talking about him. You know, he needed to get himself into the game, but nice pull-up shot by Bluiett on the baseline.
Originally committed to UCLA to Bluiett. Chris Mack got him to come to Xavier. Here's Anderson. Anderson, great bounce pass in the lane, and it's Jacobs with the reverse.
That's a big key. Xavier's got to find a way to keep Anderson out of the paint, because when he gets in there, he's got his head up, he's got great vision, and he's going to find open guys. They've got to close down that lane.
He's already got 3 assists. Davis with the entry pass in, and Jalen Reynolds with the right-hand shot misses. And Mighty Mouse comes away with it. 0-0. Down the lane, head fake, puts it up and scores it.
Well, he's the difference in this game right now. Xavier doesn't have an answer right now to stop him in transition or in the half-court ball screen action. So he is quick. Nice pass.
Oh, great pass out of the double team, and it's Reynolds with a slam dunk. Now we're seeing the two defenses not be able to do what they wanted to do at the outset. They stop Anderson with the passing in the lane, and Stainbrook passing out of the double team.
Yeah, I mean, Stainbrook's giving us a clinic right now in passing out of the post, and you love to see that post-to-post passing.
6:33 to go. There's an upset.
Keep Xavier off the glass. Right now it's just a 15-4 difference on rebounds.
Stainbrook is going to get a little bit of a breather, a well-deserved breather.
Little change in defense for San Diego. They came out with a 1-2-2 quarter court press and falling back into a 2-3 zone.
Would it shock you if I already told you that Bill Greer has already used 11 players in the first half, almost his full roster?
Yeah, that would shock me a little bit. I mean, I've noticed a lot of substitutions for both teams, but Bill's showing a lot of confidence in some of the younger guys that hadn't been playing a lot of minutes.
D. Davis, step-back jumper over Neubauer, one of the newest members of the USD roster.
I think San Diego's very comfortable with Davis shooting threes. He's more of an assist guy. And I don't think they mind him shooting those three-point shots from the outside.
Here's the electric Anderson, already the all-time assist leader in school history. I was looking for another one there. Anderson has 3 assists. This is Vasa Pushitsa. Won't get the friendly roll. And another rebound for Xavier, just blowing away San Diego on the glass. And an entry pass, terrific. Abel inside to Jalen Reynolds.
Nice play by Abel, but Jalen just kind of worked underneath the defense, found the open area, and he's off to a great start for Xavier as well, too.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer, 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Xavier with a 3-point advantage. Here's Johnny D, and D got fouled as he drove down to the baseline.
Let's look at Chris Anderson here. He's given the Xavier defense fits. with his ability to shoot the ball from the outside, get through the defense, and finish, as well as a guy that's putting pressure on the basketball and playing out of transition with an exceptional pass behind the head.
10 points already for Anderson. Abel just got whistled for his first. And with the 10 points today, Christopher Anderson becomes the 24th player in Torero's history to score 1,000 points. And missing is a guy who's closing in on the all-time scoring record at USD, Johnny D.
Yeah, Xavier's playing what we call a no-help defense. I used to call it short rope, where a guy like, D is so good shooting the basketball that you just don't leave him. You don't give him much space, and you don't have to give a lot of help. And that's, kind of making his three-point shot a little more difficult in this game.
Bluiett tried to get it to Stainbrook, who will be guarded by Simi Fajimison. And from the outside, and that is D. Davis. Weren't we talking about his shot yesterday?
Yeah,
looking a little odd. Well, it's looked pretty good so far.
It's kind of a slingshot, and he's taking three, not going down. I guess we want to say, I'll show you guys, I'm a better shooter than you think. But nice shot by Davis.
5 for Davis. Got the 3, and then that little teardrop. Here's Anderson. They got to find a way to get Johnny D going. 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting. No look pass to the corner. Elevating is Neubauer, and a miss. Another rebound for the Musketeers, and Randolph down the floor.
Nice pass.
Yep, to Bluiett, and he won't blow that lay-in so easy. Bluiett starting career, having to spend a quick 30-second timeout to kind of stem the tide and the run by Xavier, and they're out to an 8-point advantage. Their biggest of the game.
Great timeout by Bill Carrillo. You can feel the run coming, and a team like Xavier averaging 90 points a game, they have what you call spurt ability. They have that ability to just get points in a hurry.
Yeah, they're on a 9-0 run. A leaner by Anderson missed. Stainbrook got another rebound for Xavier. They find Stainbrook one-on-one against Koch, and an offensive foul called against Stainbrook. Timeout on the floor. 3:13 to go, opening half of play. San Diego's going to have it when we come back, down 8.
ESPN's exclusive.
Michigan State Rider playing Marquette, Georgia Tech. See who will be in the semifinals opposite Tennessee and Kansas. Here, Xavier with an 8-point lead. Just over 3 minutes to go in the first half of play. San Diego had a brief lead, but it has since disappeared. D feeds Neubauer, and he is fouled as he drives in.
That was great execution out of that timeout. They ran Anderson off a staggered screen down low. It kind of looked like he was the guy. And the next thing you know, D is flaring off, and he gets the pass and just really attack. And that's a part of D's game, I think, that's really developed as time goes. He's known as just a three-point shooter, but he's able to put the ball on the floor a little bit. And that was a great pass inside.
Xavier on an 18-4 run now since being down by 6 to the Toreros at 20-14. That represents the biggest lead of the game for San Diego. Take a look at the particulars on Neubauer, another guy with international flair.
Bill Greer's got a lot of freaking flyer miles. I mean, he's flying over to Europe all the time to get these guys. He's got a lot of free flights coming.
Well, they did it at Gonzaga when he was there with Mark Few. They've done it for many years with a lot of success.
That's a good way to go. It's a lot of good players around the world.
Yep. There's a drive by Summer, and he gets fouled. Yeah, earlier this summer, they actually went to Italy and played in a tournament. There's your international flair for the Toreros. Koch played club ball over in Spain. But they played in Italy this past summer, 3 games, part of a religious education class. Maybe a little recruiting as well. The players actually got credit. They had class in the morning, 6 hours a day of instruction, and 6 hours of tours that were led by instructors. And they had a project and a final as well, and all the players came back with 3 units.
Steve, I was really looking forward to you pronouncing all 4 of those names. You kind of let me down on that one.
Well, as we get deeper into the broadcast, I'm sure I'll have an opportunity to say them all, but the lead is 10 for Xavier, and that represents their biggest of the contest. Here's Duda Sanadze. That was partially tipped by Mikura and went into the backcourt, so no violation there.
Yeah, Dude is a young man that was their second leading scorer last year and is suffering a little bit of plantar fasciitis. And well, I know Bill Greer would really like to get him going and be another offensive threat for San Diego.
.220 and counting to go. 10-point lead. D with his second three.
That's a senior for you. He just steps up. They needed a big shot. He got those feet set.
Just over 1,600 career points for him, and answering with a three of his own is Jalen Randolph.
You know, if you're a guard and you've got a guy like Stainbrook, you don't mind throwing it into him. I mean, sometimes you get those big guys, they're a little bit of a black hole. They never go, ball goes in, it never comes out. But, you know, they know he's a very unselfish guy, and they're going to get good looks when they throw it into him.
And Sanadze got fouled attempting the three. J.P. Mikura, freshman from Lakeville, Minnesota, with the infraction.
Watch D's last three-point shooter. He came off the screen quickly, and he's already down and ready into his shot before the ball's even delivered.
Good bloodlines in that family, though. Dad played in the NFL for a couple of teams. Mom ran cross country at the University of Tulsa, and his sister Jenny is as good a scorer, if not better, at RBV High School, Rancho Buena Vista in Vista, down in the San Diego area. And his granddad was actually on the United States Olympic hoops team in '68.
One of those guys that wasn't highly recruited. And I think because of that, he's got a little chip on his shoulder. So whenever he steps out there on the court, he's got something to prove. And during his 4 years, he's proved a lot already.
Now think about this, not highly recruited, but you're at RBV and you average 32.8 points per game as a senior in high school.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, as coaches, you're recruiting, you get caught up in size. You know, he's really got a point guard size. He's more of a two. He's definitely a two guard. And sometimes you got to forget about size. This guy can play, and that's really all that matters.
Xavier's lead is 8. 90 seconds to go.
Xavier kind of going into their baseline runner motion.
Stainbrook, great pass to Davis, who got bumped and fouled, put it up, doesn't go. But it's Brandon Perry, CSUN, Northridge transfer.
Good job by Davis recognizing that his defender's head was turned, and he made an aggressive cut to the basket. He was able to draw that contact, get himself to the free throw line.
Perry comes in. He's the 12th Torero to play in the first half for Bill Greer. Getting called for that foul. He's a big fella. As we told you, the Northridge transfer here in the LA area. But number 2 right there, we were talking during the shoot-around yesterday, and what did Bill Greer tell us? That they said once he exhausts his eligibility, and this is a story you'll enjoy, they're going to drive him down to the San Diego Charger practice facility and say, take him.
I love that story. I had a kid a few years back, Antonio Gates, that's playing for San Diego, and he's a terrific basketball player, but he's got that body. I'm not a great football coach, but I don't know if it's tight end or linebacker or whatever it may be. But, you know, if he's not afraid of a little contact, he might want to explore that.
Didn't you bring Antonio down to Viejas Arena for a first-round game against Indiana one year? Recall that? That's D off the mark. No?
I just remember Antonio Gates playing for me. I didn't bring him anywhere. He took us to the Elite Eight. That's where he took me. I on his coattail.
I thought that run started for some reason in San Diego. San Diego is now within 8. Here's Farr over Koch, the shot blocker. Johnny D with a rebound. It's only the 7th rebound of the game for San Diego. Xavier with 20 of them.
I think one thing with Farr, and the coaches talk about that, he's 6'9", and he really likes to play on the perimeter, and that's a part of his game that they're okay with, but they don't want him to just settle for the perimeter game.
Difference between the shot clock and the game clock is about 2 seconds. Anderson puts the offense into work with 6. Gets it out to D. He fires it up. Won't score it. And the rebound by Farr, and time expires. Xavier ends the half on a 16-7 run and will go into the locker room with an 8-point lead as they make 7 of their last 10 season. first team performer. San Diego in blue will have the basketball first to open up the second half of play. Christopher Anderson scored 10 in the first half. Became the 24th player in school history to have 1,000 points. And on the opening shot, Gito Koch can't hit. Back the other way on the run out. Bluiett got fouled as he put it up.
Xavier really got it up quickly up the floor with a quick advance. I'm not sure there was much contact right there on that play, but Bluiett was very aggressive going to the basket.
First on Johnny D. Sending the super-looking freshman out of Indianapolis to the free throw line. We talked about USD going down to Italy in the summer to get better. Xavier went to Brazil, and this is a kid that shed some pounds.
Yeah, that was a great story about Chris Mack, how Bluiett went there and he played okay. He didn't play great, but he felt like he was getting tired. And after the trip in Italy, they said, hey, you might need to drop some pounds. And he immediately dropped about 15 pounds, and it's really helped him to start this season.
Reigning Big East Rookie of the Week, Thomas Jacobs, the glue guy, with a three.
Bill Greer's been very impressed with him. They said he's just been a glue guy that's been solid all the way through. And, for him to now start this second half with a three-point, that should really help his confidence offensively.
He's a transfer out of Cal State Northridge. Went to Scripps Ranch High School, played locally in San Diego. Abel will knock down the three.
How easy is that? You just throw it into your big guy. You stand around. If they double, you take the open shot. If they don't double, he goes to work. That's just good offense. It's basic, it's simple, but it's very effective.
He's the Indiana transfer. Practiced with Xavier last year. He was a defensive stopper at Indiana, although early in his career did score some points. Stainbrook. He's going to turn and face the basket and make it over Koch.
He's doing it all. He's doing it all. I mean, he doesn't have the body type of a Paul Gasol, but he kind of has that game, the good passer, the soft touch, and really the high IQ out there on the court.
He has 10, the lead for the Musketeers, their biggest of the game, at 11. Anderson drives in the paint, kick out. Bailey has been scoreless so far, and that'll change right there.
Nice play, nice defensive play right there. I couldn't come.
And that's going the way of the Toreros.
That was all caused by Thomas Jacob. He made a great hustle play on the inbounds and was able to throw it inbounds and went off Xavier.
8th turnover for Xavier. In that first half, Xavier gave up 9 points off of turnovers to San Diego. They might have had a bigger lead if they cleaned things up a little bit. Here's Bailey, right of the lane. Christopher Anderson. D. Yep. That's good defense right there by.
Really, Abel is just attached to D at the hip. I mean, he's not letting him go anywhere.
Bailey can't convert from that same spot on the floor second time down. You just saw right there why he was that defensive stopper at Indiana.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. I mean, he's chasing him around screens. That was a driving kick where he did a great job relocating, but Abel stayed right attached.
3 in the corner by Trevon Bluiett. He has 8.
I think the freshman is ready to come out in the second half.
When Abel was at Indiana, he was mentored by Victor Oladipo, and Bluiett fouls Koch as he went in for the jam.
Now here's Stainbrook again, finding the open man. He's leading the team right now in this game in assists. And guys who just have those feet ready, hands ready, and feet set. Nice looking three-point shot by Bluiett.
Bluiett with his first, sending Gito Koch to the free throw line. He's out of the Netherlands. 6'9" junior, played club ball in Spain. Had a career best 15 points on Monday against Western Michigan in a non-bracketed game with 4 blocks. Offensive rebound by Jacobs. And Jacobs turns it over. And a blocking foul by Christopher Anderson. That's going to be his second.
It's one of those bang-bang plays. I think in the past that would have been a charge, but I think the emphasis right now is to... he was sliding. That's a good call by the official.
Sliding right across the palm tree in front of us. Look at the kind of a University of Oregon flair to the floor here at Cal State Fullerton. They try to throw it for Stainbrook. Koch was on him, and they're going to whistle Gito Koch for the foul.
It's just such a hard matchup. He holds his position, and Cox kind of grabs him with his off arm, is able to draw the foul.
First on Gito. Quickly they inbound it, and James Farr, the junior from Evanston, Illinois, can't convert. Here's D around the screen by Koch, but met by Stainbrook up high. Anderson in the lane again, lost it. Jacobs in the scrum, and tied up, and it's going Xavier's way.
Good hustle by both teams getting on the floor. You love to see that. Coaches love to see that. See right now, good defense. That started the whole situation, and both teams went after that basketball.
Ten-point advantage for the Musketeers out of the Big East Conference. Second year in that Big East Conference. They finished third in the Big East a year ago. Lost some pretty good talent. One to a transfer, and Samaj Kristen to the NBA.
You know, give Xavier a lot of credit. You know, a lot of people thought, hey, the transition from A-10 to the Big East, you know, they might slip a little bit, and they hit the ground running right in the Big East. And
they don't look like a work in progress at all. They're losing the talent that they did. Here's D elevating and knocking down a straightaway three.
Good screen right there. Good screen that created a little bit of space for D to get that three-point shot off.
That's not the guy you want to warm up. He has 9 now if you're a Xavier fan. County D can score him in bunches. He's poised to be the all-time scoring leader at the University of San Diego. Stainbrook, does he have that in the arsenal? It's a 7-point advantage now for the Musketeers. Game 2 of the DirecTV Wooden Legacy from Cal State Fullerton. The winner gets UTEP tomorrow. The loser gets Princeton. D another 3, and he hits. Oh, this got it.
As you mentioned, don't let that guy get heated up. He's a deadly three-point shooter with a quick release.
Shooting 47% on the year from beyond the arc. It's a 4-point game.
And what I like about D is, you know, he can miss 2 or 3, but you give him a look, he's going to shoot the next one. He's got ultra confidence in his shooting ability.
They've made 9 threes now. He's made 4 of them. And a push. And they're going to get Christopher Anderson for another personal foul.
8 of them were 3, and now he's 4 of 8 from 3. In the second half, he's coming out with a lot of confidence.
Although Christopher Anderson just picked up his 3rd personal foul and has to go to the bench now. So Marcus Harris coming in, the heir apparent in the future to Anderson. Xavier has the basketball. They get an offensive rebound by Farr, and with the left hand muscles it up and scores it. That's his first 2.
I can see Bill Greer's a little frustrated. He thought he would have got an offensive foul on that play right there. Like Farr cleared off some space.
6-point advantage for the Musketeers. D got fouled, and D Davis fouled him.
Yeah, I think Xavier just decided, hey, let's put another fresher defender, a little more speed to really close out and get close to him. Don't give him any space to get those rhythm shots off.
The lead is 6 for Xavier. 6 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, this is a critical time for San Diego with Chris Anderson on the bench. They've got to just kind of keep this game right where it is without letting Xavier get any separation against them.
Yeah, how long do you sit? Is it a feel thing now? How long do you sit Anderson? Because you know he plays very aggressive.
Well, it is, but he's a senior right now, and he's got to be a guy savvy enough to figure out, hey, I can't foul. I've got to play good defense. I got to play smart, but I can't foul. So I wouldn't sit him very long. I'd put him in maybe another minute or 2.
D up and under. Wow, a good hard-earned basket. He's 3 for 3 in the second half on field goal attempts.
Yeah, and D, that's great recognition on his part, understanding that, hey, the defense is so tight on me right now. I can drive it. He drew the foul initially, and now he just drove it and scored a basket.
14 for D. And into traffic, Trevon Bluiett.
That was a tough move by Bluiett. Through traffic, dipsy doing in the air and scooping it in with his left hand.
He has 10 now, joining Stainbrook in double figures. 6-point advantage, 13 minutes to go here.
San Diego making a concerted effort to go through D, play offense through D.
Here's Jacobs elevating, and Jacobs from the left side.
Nice shot.
He had 10 points, 11 boards last game. Yeah. Starting to get warmed up here. And a steal by San Diego, and due to Sanadze. And he got fouled, and down to his knees he went.
I thought Duda should have dropped that back off on that steal by Jacob. But let's look at Johnny D right now. He's really been aggressive offensively in the second half with his three-point shooting. His teammates are really setting good screens to free him up. And right now the defense knows they got to close out on him tough. But D decides, hey, I'm going to drive the ball by you. And he looks like he's going with his left. He comes back with his right hand and use that nice English off the glass. He
played 16 minutes in the opening half and went 2 of 7 from the floor for 6 points. And here's what he's done in the second half.
Well, he's averaging 20 points a game. I mean, he's their guy. And, you know, I'm sure Bill Greer said, hey, you know, we need you to step up in the second half, and we need your teammates to help free you up. Set good screens, move without the basketball, and deliver on-time passes.
Sanadze makes it a 2-point game. He was battling that foot issue that dates all the way back to the middle of last year, the plantar fasciitis that you talked about. He's out of the Republic of Georgia. Xavier could use a bucket. Jalen Reynolds has it. Reynolds goes by his defender and scores.
We saw that earlier in the game. You know, he's really good at putting the ball down on the dribble and going right into that running hook shot. You can see how that's a go-to move for Jalen Reynolds.
Right at his average of 9 points. And there's a foul away from the basketball. They're going to get Edmund Summer. That's his second.
You know, it's funny. I'm looking over at the San Diego bench, and they're telling him, like, look, you got to take away his left shoulder. He's going middle with it every single time. Make him do something different, Jalen Reynolds.
Sanadze, good pass inside the D, but a little too hard. And that's going to be Xavier's basketball as we break. Johnson by the end of this season. Everyone pulling for that because Brandon was in prison not too long ago, serving a 6-month sentence for his part, the all-time leading scorer in a point-shaving scandal at San Diego.
Yeah, I'm sure every San Diego fan out there is rooting for Johnny D to hold that record. So, you know, something that happened in the past can be put away.
Yep. Yeah, they've been trying to wipe away that stain since 2010. Pretty soon D will have the record and you move on, as they have done a wonderful job of moving on from something that caught everybody off guard, including head coach Bill Greer.
Yeah, give Bill Greer a lot of credit. I mean, that happened maybe first or second year into his career, and
2010.
All of a sudden, you know, set your program back. You get negative recruiting that comes at you, and he just kind of held things together. And you can see the program is starting to grow and grow and grow and make improvements. And I believe that's why he was rewarded with a new contract.
Yeah, I agree, because they're coming off 4 losing seasons. But Jemison just had the personal foul there, which is going to send Stainbrook to the line. Yes, you're coming off 4 losing seasons in the middle of the summer. You got the extension to continue because there was a lot of factors out of your control, you know, against the program. And you said that it's used in recruiting, right? You know, anything you can use.
Oh, you know that. I mean, recruiting is difficult enough as it is. And, you know, anytime somebody can now take a little dig, take a little shot to make a difference in a player coming to your program or not coming to your program, it makes a big difference. I mean, none of us like the negative recruiting, but it exists.
He called it the worst day of his life when the FBI knocked on his door one morning to let him know what was happening. Harris in the lane. By the way, Christopher Anderson back on the floor now.
Good sign for the freshman right there, Harris. Being aggressive, nice curl cut, and a little floater.
Stainbrook. For Jemison draws him. From the outside, Makura buries it.
You know, the coaches rave about Makura. They say he plays with ultra confidence and really shoots the ball.
Sanase answers.
Well, we got some quick scoring going back and forth right now.
Yeah, JB in a non-bracketed game, he'll try and do it again.
Look at this guy.
Looks like the kid that had 17 points in 13 minutes against Long Beach State not too long ago.
You know, this isn't a surprise. This guy came out of high school. He averaged 32 points a game in high school. So
as we resume action, the two teams can hardly miss of late, but somehow Xavier's pulled ahead by 7. San Diego's made 6 of their last 7 field goals. The Musketeers have made 5 of their last 5. Harry to Koki lost it. Makura back the other way. He gets it to go.
Boy, he's tough. You know, he's just knocked down 2 threes, and that was a great open court move. He kind of inside out that guy, got him to shift a little bit to his left, and was able to finish that shot. Nice move, J.P. Makura.
He's got 8 points, and they've all come in the last 2 minutes. Here's Harris. He missed off the right of the rim, and the rebound corralled in the corner by Remy Abel.
I think San Diego's going to have to get Johnny D back into this game before it gets away.
It got kicked. Inside of 9.5 to go. Will he do it again? Oh, man.
Are you kidding me?
He's got 11 now.
This guy comes into the game in the second half, and he's just on a mission. I mean, he barely even looked at the rim. I mean, it caught it, and it was up.
He didn't have a shot in the first half as Brandon Perry scores on the other end to stem the tide. He comes in, he's got 11 points here in like the last 3 or 4 minutes. Back to a 10-point advantage for Xavier. Their biggest has been 11.
Here's Makura on the steal, and the ball's loose, but he makes a nice move by shifting the defense, and now you get the 3-point shot. I mean, the defense was there. I mean, that was good defense, just better offense.
They had to put Bailey on him, and Bailey picked up his second personal, and JP goes to the free throw line.
Here's one of those decisions Chris Mack has to make. He's got Trevon Bluiett on the bench, and JP playing so well. You got to ride JP out while he's going right now, don't you?
You have to. Nearly a steal, and that's going to be Xavier's basketball. Saturday at 7:45 Eastern, number 14 Auburn takes on number 1 Alabama in the Iron Bowl. Alabama leading the series 42-35-1. You remember last year Auburn wins on Chris Davis's 109-yard return of a missed field goal. So what will they have in store this year? We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm not a football coach, but I got to imagine Nick Saban spent a little bit of time on special teams and this week preparing for this game. What do you think?
I would agree with you wholeheartedly, partner. 10-point lead for the Musketeers, 8:39 to go. Xavier is already in the bonus. 17 fouls for San Diego, while the Musketeers have only committed 4 here in the second half. And they've got a big lift off the bench by J.P. Makura, a freshman from Lakeville, Minnesota. Stainbrook. Here's Farr trying it in the corner, and he hits the 3.
Well, in the first part of this game, we've seen San Diego with the 3-point shot, but now Xavier's really got aggressive with the 3-point shot.
Their biggest lead of the game at 13. Anderson around the Coke pick, nothing there. Here's Jacobs driving in the lane, and he got it stripped away. Nice defense by Farr. Nice
defense by Stainbrook. He just got himself in there and a little bit out of control. Nowhere to go.
13-point lead for the. It's called Out of Habit. A neat title. Inside of 8 minutes to go. San Diego chasing 17. We applaud her for all the great work that she's done. And she gets a Thanksgiving trip to California. Good for her. Harris got bumped and got it to go. That's only a 2.
You know, Harris is going to be a good heir apparent when Anderson's gone. He's got quickness. He really shoots it quick.
It might be more of a scorer, too, as a prep in San Antonio averaged 25.3 points per game.
Yeah, he definitely has more of a scoring mentality. And if he can, kind of learn the playmaking skills of Anderson, a guy gets in the lane and makes things happen, he's got a bright future with San Diego.
Just picked up his second personal, the 18th foul, so blew it to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
That's what Bill Greer talked about. He said, one of the things from leadership standpoint for Anderson and D is to really help the young freshmen as they're leaving understand what it's like to play for San Diego.
Yeah, both of them certainly have expanded that leadership role this year, especially Johnny D. They're going to need D to start scoring. He's in the left-hand corner. Harris has it. They've put Abel now on D to kind of slow all those great strides he made. He steps back and says, hey, take that.
He was about 3 feet. He's at the NBA three-point line, and I think Abel decided, hey, he's not going to shoot this. He kind of looked down, and next thing you know, D rose up and nailed it.
He has 17. He's made 5 threes, and still a lot of work for San Diego to do, trailing by 10 inside of 7 to go. Matt Stainbrook on the floor around Koch. That's been a nice battle. Koch's won a few. Stainbrook has won most of them, and there's a foul.
Watch Johnny D's 3 here. He gets the ball, and he kind of dribbles. Looks like he has nothing, and he steps back, kind of looks down. Abel drops his head, looks around for the screen, and the next thing you know, D raises up, and he's got such a quick release. A deadly shooter.
D just picked up his second personal. I'm going to send Stainbrook to the free throw line for 1-and-1. He missed the first. He's got a brother on the team, Tim, as well. Good size, 6'6" sophomore. They're both out of Bay Village, Ohio. Jacobs. And bounced it inside. The entry pass went right through the wickets of Gito Koch.
Yeah, not a good pass right there. He threw it at his ankles. That's an unforced turnover.
$11 turnovers for San Diego. And both teams have shot the ball particularly well. San Diego shot 56% from the field, and you're down 10.
Yeah, offensively, both teams have been very, very efficient. You see San Diego right now is trying to slow Xavier down a little bit. They've gone to a zone.
And Bluiett buries a 3 from the outside.
The three-point shot for Xavier in the second half has just been a huge difference. They've got to find a way to get some hands in these guys' faces.
They've made 10 3-pointers in the game. Bluiett is the leading scorer for the Musketeers with 15. Anderson driving in, and Anderson couldn't get it to fall. He's been playing now with the 3 personals for about the last 6 minutes. Five and a half to go. Abel to Reynolds. 10 to go on the shot clock. Bluiett steps back and fires right over the top of Vasa Pushitsa and scores it.
Both of these 2 freshmen, Bluiett and Mercure, especially in the second half, have really come on.
A funky arena that looks like a club you would see in West Hollywood, or a rave that you'd go to or something, with the blue. It's hard for my eyes to adjust. Here, part of the reason why a team like Xavier is seeing their opponents shoot 55% from the field and still pulling away, as they've made 7 of 11 threes in the second half.
Yeah, offensively, both teams have been very, very good. But you can see here, Trevon Bluiett with a step-back dribble. A little bit of fadeaway, create some separation, and knock down that 17-footer.
Johnny D with a missed shot. Anyway, I guess when you're trading, threes for twos. Yeah,
that's basically what it is. They trade 3 for 2s. San Diego offensively has been solid, but they can't stop Xavier right now.
And a timeout by Xavier as Rand.
See him attack off the dribble, create some space, and knock down that 17-footer.
Mark of consistency so far through the first 4.5 games. Came in shooting 65%. He's 6 of 10 in this game, and 52% on threes. And he's 2 of 4 in that category. Turnover. San Diego have it, chasing 15 here. Time running out, 4:31 to go. And it looks like the Musketeers will advance to take on UTEP, a team that we saw in the game prior that goes 7-1, 6'10", 6'8", 6'8", and 6 foot in their starting lineup. So be a fun little matchup.
Well, if it finishes the way it appears, there's going to be a lot of size on the floor tomorrow.
And then San Diego has the unenviable task of only a few hours to prepare for Princeton in that offense. Anderson put the shot up. There was a foul underneath. Jalen Reynolds just got called for his 4th. And of course, next game's up. Long Beach State and Western Michigan in this tournament, and then San Jose State and Washington. Here's D. Pass to Cope. Cope tried the reverse and drew contact as he went up. Breaking the action, 3:59 to go in regulation. The Musketeers' daughter, they're going to have a baby boy in the family here pretty soon. Maybe by the time she gets back from the trip.
She knows when daddy's winning. She feels good.
That's Laney. I don't think I helped the cause yesterday to ask if she was going to Disneyland. I'm pretty sure she knew it was in the vicinity here of Fullerton.
She's attached to Chris Mack. I mean, she's coming to the practice and everything. She's at media day with him. You like that? Don't be surprised if she's a coach down the road now. Don't be surprised.
There's a travel against Xavier, and so San Diego will retain possession. Well, if Xavier closes the door on San Diego here, the Big East will be 40-5 through Thanksgiving Day. They had a little bit of a rough go of it today. Butler and Georgetown losing earlier today in Atlantis.
But that's still phenomenal. I think the Big 12 is second with maybe, I think 12 losses or 9 losses, somewhere in there. So the Big East is off to a phenomenal start this year. And with some major wins against some tough opponents.
And Marquette has 2 losses. They're the only 2-loss team so far. We, of course, haven't exited November yet. D turned it over. Randolph back the other way. Randolph got fouled. A reach in by Pushitsa. Yeah, the Big East made up of Creighton, Providence, Villanova, Seton Hall, Xavier, St. John's. They're 4-0, and they're going to play Gonzaga here in the preseason NIT. Butler, Georgetown, DePaul, and Marquette.
Yeah, Villanova's the favorite. Jay Wright's team looked terrific against Michigan the other night. You know, that's going to be a heck of a battle. There's some very, very strong teams in that league.
It remains a 15-point advantage for the Musketeers. There's Chris Mack. There's a team captain. Played under Pete Gillen at Xavier.
Terrific teams then, too. Pete Gillen's a heck of a coach.
Had some terrific coaches here as well. I know Cal had some interest in Chris Mack. Keeping it going here. Arizona got a great coach in Sean Miller. Final 3:30. Not sure if Xavier will get to the 90, and a quick timeout called by the Musketeers. 11 here in the second half by J.P. McCura. And the Musketeers are going to get UTEP here, barring a miraculous comeback by San Diego. The Toreros will get Princeton tomorrow. They'll be in the losers bracket. Both games will be here in this building. And then on Sunday for the championship rounds, we'll head over to the Honda Center in Anaheim. Abel, pull up 3 with 3 to go on the shot clock. And a rare miss. Stainbrook was there for the offensive rebound, and he got fouled. Shows you how tough that the opening round of these holiday tournaments can be. They're going to win for the first time in a while. That's the first game of the last 3 holiday tournaments they've been in.
Yeah, if you hadn't have said that, I would have never guessed that.
Me either.
You know, they're such a good program, so consistent. But some of these tournaments are just so difficult.
How much does it help to win the opening game?
Oh, it's huge. You know, it just kind of takes a little pressure off you. You want to win these tournaments, but you want to at least go 2-1, or if it's a 4-game tournament, go 3-1. So that first game, getting underneath your belt, just getting comfortable with the environment is so important. Okay, for Xavier, it's been, you know, the first half was almost, let's go to Stainbrook and his scoring, passing, it just kind of dominated the first half. And the second half, kind of been more Bluiett and Makura. Those two freshmen really took over in the second half. So they can really hurt you offensively in a lot of different ways.
Koch with another block shot, denying D. Davis. They both hit the floor hard. Anderson for 3. Neubauer fighting for the rebound, keeps it alive. D now for 3. And why not?
Nice extra pass by Anderson. He had a good shot, but he passed it over to D for a great shot.
20 for Johnny D. That's his 6th main.
These teams do this. They have the 3-game tournament, but you can play that extra game to get the 4th game that doesn't count because of the exempt event. And, you know, Xavier beat Long Beach State, but San Diego beat Western Michigan. But second time around, you never know if it happens.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Christopher Anderson, we're just being told, a tournament record for assist 11 in this game. Shouldn't come as any surprise. He had 9 through the first 4 games of the year on average for San Diego. And he is, of course, the all-time USD assist leader with over 600 now. He had 216 of them alone last year.
That was very impressed with Anderson and D. I mean, those are 2 really good guards that are going to do very well in the WCC.
Sarba with a leader. Junior from Spokane. 12-point lead. No quit in San Diego here late.
No, but I think it was smart. Bill Greer, he decided to put Anderson and D, and they've got another game tomorrow. Give some other guys is the key. Both from 2-point and 3-point. And the rebounding obviously is a huge advantage for Xavier. They came into the game averaging plus 11, and they continue to dominate the glass.
Yep, San Diego was plus 4 against their opponents. Harris nearly stripped Brandon Randolph. And Randolph, that's going to get waved off. And that's a foul on Harris.
I thought that should have went. I thought the contact happened while he was in his motion to shoot the basketball.
Brandon Randolph from nearby Inglewood High School. Hotbed of high school talent in Southern California.
Lots of talent in Southern California, that's for sure.
Simi Fajimison with the rebound for San Diego. Koshitsu. And Koshitsa has 2 points. He played at Sunrise Christian Academy in Kansas last season, getting 12.5 minutes a game. Freshman from Serbia. So the Musketeers are going to be 5-0 to open the season, and the Toreros are going to drop to 3-2. And both teams playing tomorrow, the first 2 early games. Xavier will be in the winner's bracket opposite UTEP, and San Diego will be in the loser's bracket opposite Princeton. And Abel in the lane.
A lot of weapons for Xavier. Abel just ripped it with his right hand and had a nice little running hook shot.
10 for Abel inside of Fajimison for a slam.
Fajimison with a nice ball fake. Good roll to the glass. You know, San Diego's going to find out a lot about their team playing against a team like Xavier. You're going to learn a lot when you go back and watch this film.
Well, most times when you shoot 52%, you like your chances to win, but Chris Mack's team today shot 58% from the floor. They made 10 threes.